I've been involved with robotics as a development project and with the technology clinically now for 18 years. So the answer is yes, I do use robotics on a regular basis. I've found over the years that robotics has made me more efficient and more precise in terms of implanting, placing pedicle screws. The single most important lesson that I've learned over the last 18 years was the value of preoperative planning, coming to the operating room prepared. With the current software that's available, and there's multiple different versions of software that are out there, you can pre-plan the case. You know exactly where you want your screws to go. You know exactly what kind of correction, if it's a deformity procedure, you know exactly what you want to do in terms of osteotomies. You come to the operating room prepared with that plan. Your team knows what you're going to do. You know what you're going to do. And you've actually already done the surgery in a virtual environment. So you recognize the anatomy, whether you're doing something percutaneously or open. You understand where the limits are, what you have to be careful of in terms of the anatomy, if there's been previous surgery, fusion mass, previous decompressions. So coming to the operating room prepared with the plan is, in my mind, the single most important thing and the benefit that I've seen from it. As with any new technology, there's always a learning curve, and it's taken a number of years to refine the workflow, to get us down to a level where we are very, very efficient. I've been working with the same team now for 5 years. That includes the scrub tech, the nurse, the anesthesiologist, the x-ray tech, and a technician for the robotic apparatus. When we get in, we set up the room, everybody knows what they're doing. During the workflow, once they've seen my preoperative plan, all the implants are ready to go. We register, we dispatch the robot, we place the screws, and then I proceed with whatever correction needs to be done. So it makes the procedure that much more efficient. So I use robotics for essentially any deformity case, any case where I'm worried about the anatomy, any type of revision where I have something going on. Yeah, on occasion, I will do a case because we're dealing with residents and fellows. We do open freehand cases just so they remember, they learn how to do the basics of placing a pedicle screw and reading the anatomy. But essentially, any case right now where I am placing implants, I will use the robot and rely on my preoperative plan and intraoperative execution of that plan to be more precise and more efficient. Today's robotic technology is a guidance system. It's helping us put screws in more efficiently with much more precision. The future, we're only limited by our imagination. I have absolutely no doubt that multiple different technologies are going to cross and going to make us better in the operating room. We're going to combine navigation, we're going to combine bone cutting tools with robotics, and it will be a toolbox that's going to make us better surgeons. So there's no doubt in my mind that we're going to be doing decompressions, osteotomies in a much more automated fashion. The one thing to remember though, despite all the talk about predictive analytics and artificial intelligence, the robot is still not doing the surgery. The surgeon still has to know the indications, has to know the technique, has to know what to do, just like the pilot of one of the jetliners has his pre-flight plan that's plugged into the computer on board. He is still monitoring, he is still there flying the plane essentially and watching what's going on because it was his pre-flight plan. That's essentially what we're going to be doing in the future as spine surgeons, and I suspect in surgery in general. Thank you very much.